Okay, here we are. Let me go with the riding across of the unexpected. 4-6 profile. Holding on. I want to stop right here with that holding on. It's one of the things to always be clear about this nature of the spleen is that it's the most unnatural to hold on to something. It's one of the things I teach you about not self strategy of the spleen. You're holding on to things that aren't good for you. And when you're letting go of things that are not good for you, and it's all about this holding on process. Now remember, this is what an emotional person does with emotion. It's what makes them ill. They take the emotion and they hold on to it rather than just letting it pass. It's the same thing for the spleen. The spleen will hold on. And it means that it can hold on onto a virus rather than letting go through it. And in holding onto it, it become ill. And so it's very important to see that here in the fourth line, you're really very much in some sort of archetypes of the spleen as a whole. The ability, and I love that twist of phraseology here, the ability through whatever means to keep one's grip. Now that has a double entendre, meaning to keep one's grip is not to lose your marbles, to be able to stay the steady course, but yet it is grip and not to lose one grip. So one of the things about the 28 4 is that the you and 24 is trying to figure out a way to really hold on to the other. Not just I empower you and you empower me, but something else, something that goes deeper. That is, I'll empower you and you empower me, but you let me see your mailing list and I'll see your mine. And in other words, I also want certain opportunities out of this. It's okay that I empower you, but there's something funny that happens there. The application of knowledge to exploit. Implicit. It's a strong word to exploit opportunities and usually spoken, drawn out. I always love those. Whenever you see that expression from me, you really have to say it just as I do. I usually spoken, drawn out. Not always, usually, but not always. One of the most important parts of your work is the depth and quality of human design vocabulary, its preciseness as a language. And we really have to make sure that our students pay deep attention to its language. Every word is a formula. And if you just slide it over the surface, you miss what's being said. One of the reasons that people have trouble with the Ravi Ching is that they don't know how to read and deconstruct at the same time. And it's a deconstruction in a way. In other words, you have to see that there are all these codes that are built into, are layered with little stories or mythologies or whatever, but you can deconstruct these things and come up with it's what I do unconsciously for you as that I'm deconstructing. I think he just died, didn't he? The father of deconstruction in Germany. What's his name? This philosopher. He just died. I read a very interesting obituary for him because it's very much misunderstood. But anyway, this idea of being able to take something that the intention supposedly is one of the things and that people get when they read a line. They say, okay, the ability through whatever means to keep one's grip. But there are many things in here. It's an ability, so it's already built in. There's an ability here, there's a gift here of holding on. It's one of the things that the spleen learns to do. It's a blue line. The spleen learns to hold on. That's not good. And why does it learn to hold on? It learns to hold on because it's deeply conditioned, because it's to not self rules. And you can begin to go into a deconstruct the ability through whatever means that's anyway. The application of knowledge to exploit opportunities, and usually for the greater good, a depth intuition, and as itself the best struggle of a value to others. And the side, the application of intelligence to hold on and exclusively there is only one way. It's either by conditioning or them or being conditioned. There's no other hold on. And the moment you see hold on, you're always looking at the realm of the not self. Now understand that form a splenic point of view, that the splenic system must hold on temporarily in the splenic senses. Otherwise, your spleen, your immune system would not be able to identify things and be able to recognize what kind of defense system is necessary to combat it. It holds it to examine it and it lets it go. And of course, this is a constant flow. The lymphatic system that we relate to the spleen, please remember that you have lymph glands all over your body, that the spleen is deeply connected to your entire system, your whole process in that sense. And everything about the spleen is that the open spleen is absolutely and deeply insecure. It's insecure in the most fundamental way. There's no consistent way to survive. So it learns to hold on at a very early point in their life. And what's happening there is that the love, right angle love. self absorbed love. The right angle love is beginning to fade from the unexpected. And again, this is our 4 6. Something to understand about the 4 6 is that the 4 6 wants to be left angle. We saw that in the way in which the laws were changed. So, what we're getting here is there's not enough that there's not empowerment. Empowerment is not enough. I want to guarantee that you're going to keep on empowering me. And the way to do that is to get you to hold on to me, for me to hold on and through conditioning, whatever means. It's always struggle. I'm going to stubbornly hold on. This is the opening for the not self of the spleen. Remember, that's his four line in that affects. That's the immune system breaking down and allowing infection to come in, which is very important. Otherwise, you can build up your immune system and then putting it back out and pausing it along. So here in the fourth line, what you're having is that you're moving away from what is the theme of the 12, which is to be in love with the empowering the other, not to be so much in love with the other, and to be in love with being empowered by the other, not so much being in love with the other. And so you see that becomes something else. That the very network that the fourth line creates for its opportunity is also a web in which they can trap things, and it's part of their holding on process. So yeah, very dangerous, especially people with an open spleen. They always hold on to things that are not good for them. So stop doing that. It doesn't work.